Welcome to Hello Haven, your little corner to celebrate amazing music and moments together. I'm GP, your favorite songwriter and music enthusiast, and today we're going to be diving into Seventeen's Maestro. That name itself sounds so promising, and I'm super excited to dive right in, especially since it seems the MV has the subtitles this time. So, this is one of their later works, and I'll get to view the MV straight off and get a very complete experience of the message they're sharing with this music. Let's begin. First, we'll go with the MV, and then hopefully, we'll check out the dance practice. Okay. Okay. Some predictions right off the gate. Mission Maestro. Huh. Okay. My first thoughts. The word maestro can itself be interpreted in many different ways, especially if you're going for a song, right? You have the classic motif of someone pulling the strings always, in all aspects of life. So not just on a plain physical level, but you have the mental, psychic play that keeps happening between people, this power struggle. And even on a divine spiritual level, the fact that we're all just instruments, that idea, that concept. So the word maestro can be pulled in multiple different directions when we use it for interpretation. But as far as the MV is going, it seems to be a reclamation of something. So we have here mission maestros. This is something, in a way, either this is from a sort of villain's perspective, wherein people who, for example, holding Hoshi captive are the ones who are doing this maestro mission of kind of in this MV eliminating 17, but really what they represent, or it's which I think is more likely, it'll be 17 reclaiming their ownership or whatever belongs to them in a way, right? And in the beginning of the MV, we see here this tower. And the reason it caught my interest is because it's obviously resembling a metronome, right? And the person in front of the metronome is glitching like they're a conjuration. So I believe this might have something to do with AI too, since this is, quite a later music video. So it might be giving some kind of commentary on that too. In which case, I'm quite interested to see which direction it will go. Because unlike what I've seen a lot of people become like when they discuss topics like AI or anything, any upcoming technology has a lot of nuance when it comes to it, right? And especially when you make a song that comes along on something like this, and given the depth which Woozy and 17 in general have shown in their music, I believe it will take a very nuanced and interesting take on AI's place in music, and or rather, what the soul of music is without AI, or even in a world with AI. How we can retain that spirit. So if that is the direction this is going, then this is going to be a very interesting MV. Otherwise, I have no guesses on where this goes. Here you have the metronome kind of resembling this rigidity, if that makes sense, right? Because we've not just been given in a metronome. When we're working in a standard DAW, which is like your music production system, right? You'll notice we have a lot of options to make metronomes that change tempo and pace depending on the portion of the song, and very creative things we can do with it. But given that we made it such a huge tower and the person themselves is kind of dissolving right in front of it, the metronome itself feels like a confining tower or a structure of rigidity that we have to break out of, or rather reclaim and renovate. So yeah, that's what I got from this. I might have overanalyzed from just the first 10 seconds, but that's what I'm here for. Also, I'm sorry for pausing. I love this visual shot of Hoshi kind of being what is that, a baton point? Well, it's just very evocative, and to suddenly put that out there and just him as the focus before we pull out and see kind of these faceless people. Like the music circle. melody? Is that Woozy?
맞춰볼까 하나의 안정 기준에 맞춰 세븐틴의 스케일이 초 아무래도 조금 특이해도 북을 치고 줄을 튕겨 따따라따따라따따라따 상관없지 이게 클래식과 뉴땡 또 새로운 조합은 우리 자랑이
Okay. Very, very interesting. So the first thing, or the first snapshot we see of, I couldn't tell which three members were doing it. It kind of went by too fast, but I think Vernon was in the center. The members walking through the tower gives credence to my second theory that they're reclaiming the tower. And here it seems like they're reclaiming ownership of the heart of their music, right? And then it does seem like, because of all the robots and everything, like they're talking about what place does human artistry and intent really when it comes to writing songs or expressing, performing them have in a world where you now have AI automation, right? When suddenly at the click of a hand, you can generate a whole song. What does human creativity, artistry mean? And we haven't really dived into like the heart of that yet in the lyrics, but if we have a very interesting build-up wherein, we start with Mingyu saying, start with a standard pitch. So you're expecting they're going to be building up this image of what is expected and then how 17 contrasts with it. But no, not at all. They're just like, 17 starts with the standard pitch and then we go crazy. It's Scoops is like, this is how our songs go, a little unexpected, add a drum here, add this there, from the beat to the melody, this is our style, and Joshua comes in adding this extra element of whether it's a classic or new thing, we take pride in it. Which kind of brings to the question, if whether it's classic or new, whether it's been done, tried before, or something completely experimental, you take pride in it, then what is it that you're taking pride in? And that's, I think, the question that's going to be answered in this MV, which is just wow, okay. And also so many different visuals coming in, so creative. I feel like when I have these, every time I watch these reaction videos, every time I react to these MVs or anything, then I have a whole set of things to say that I first notice, but then afterwards when I'm slightly editing the video, refining it a little bit, I'm like, oh wait, I never noticed this about the lyric, or that about the MV. And I wish I could go and self-insert myself and also add this. Because these are first-time reactions, right? So only a certain amount will be immediately catching my attention. So yeah, let's go. Oh, this is so awesome.
클래식과 뉴땡 또 새로운 조합은 우리 자랑이 비트와 멜로디까지 믹스 매치가 특기니까 미치야만 정상이 돼 세상을 바꾸는 우리니까 뜨거운 함성 두 배로 서로를 바라본 채로 나팔을 울렸을 때로 You and I
Oh my goodness. Wait. Oh my goodness. My goodness. I have to say, it's just the beginning, but I am loving this song. Too many good things about it all at once. First, the way Woozy sung his lines, very, very fresh and unique. Usually we see him do this very high, honey-like voice, but here there's like a lot of grit to the way he's singing it, and that's just adding this ultra level of chills. And then to have DK follow up the way he did, literal chills. You can't see it because it's full sleeves, but literal chills. Secondly, there was the snapshot of Woozy and then like instruments and like this mechanisms behind him, and the way they pulsed resembled a heartbeat. So, as you can see, we're still talking about the heart of music, such a visceral and almost like incredible way to depict what we're talking about thematically in this video. Secondly, there was also this, let me remember the exact line, I'll just look at it. You double the scream.
함성 두 배로 서로를 바라본 채로 나팔을 울렸을 때로.
Yeah, so within these three lines, so double the scream, looking at each other, we play the trumpet for the world. Again, I suspect here the translation from Korean to English isn't quite it. There is supposed to be like a little more meaning behind it. But what I'm getting from these three lines is very, very interesting. So first you have double the scream, right? Which is a kind of open-ended way of depicting an extreme emotive reaction. So either that can happen because of this sudden feeling of oppression, being overwhelmed and surrounded. And when you say double it and looking at each other, we're kind of also talking about the creator and the listener, right? So, because if you look at it from a certain perspective, AI, or really the interference of any new technology in the fields of art, doesn't just affect the creators. It affects the listeners as well. The listeners who are looking for this honest sense of connectivity to their creators of music, and just want something very whole and directly from the heart. So you have that image set up in two lines. And then you have we play the trumpet for the world, which is essentially adding another layer of dynamic that comes with interaction with the world in general. So okay, as a listener, what I might individually feel towards say 17 or any artist will be different from what 17 has to do because they are 17 for the world. Do you get that? It's a fine line. What individual relationships you have between a fan and an idol, I mean, for some word of individual, right, what we individually feel, it's very different from the role you have to perform when you're there as a person of certain standing. So just that entire complex interrelationship and dynamic was captured in these three lines without even directly saying it, which is really, really remarkable. And Woozi sang it so well. And then DK. Main vocal for a reason, y'all. Oh, also. The way he said you and I, double. It gives, I was wondering about it, it gives a very clear precedence and importance to the first relationship of the three. The relationship between the individual listener and the individual creator. Because that's really what, the heart of music is about. It's not about reaching the masses and getting fame, right? Making a name for yourself. Those are things that come with it if you've done well. Or maybe sometimes even if you've done well, those things don't come. But does that mean those people who created good music and individually managed to make other people's lives better, brighter, just more motivated, did they fail if they didn't make a name for themselves? Not at all, right? I mean, if you look at it that way, it just completely not true. So in the next line, just by saying you and I, that emphasis being there, they suddenly reclaim that. They say that the heart of music is that relationship between the listener and the creator, not what role the creator has to play because of their standing in the world as musicians. Just top-notch, top-tier lyrical writing. We are only 1 minute into this. See heartbeat. Right at the top, building on that heart relationship. A song that drinks up from high above. Oh my god! I have no words. the payoff lyrically for this song was so good. And I honestly think because of how good the beat, the singing, and everything is for this song, a lot of people will miss out on it. Simply because there's so many wonderful things about the song, the MV visually, the lyrics, the singing, the beat, the dance, that it's too easy to miss out on the deeper meaning it's giving. My gosh. So here you see these lines, right? After all that build up, you see DK saying, rise to the top, and right from the high place you have the sonata. You're again kind of pulling on talking about the third relationship where you keep rising, and then you say this. So when you have DK's lines, right? You're assuming again that okay, you gave this importance to the relationship between the listener and the creator. But why are we again talking about rising to the top and having like this control that's releasing this music? The top is releasing this music. But then they say following the maestro's lead. And if you've just paid attention to everything that happened in the song so far, it's implicitly said that the maestro is the heart of music, is that relationship. So when we say that we're rising on top and people say the creators are there with a certain station in life, a stature, right? And they're performing this role and everything, in reality, they're following this heart, this place, and always carrying this relationship they have with each individual singer in their hearts as the maestro. So anything, the role they perform in front of the world is with that true original heart intact. And more than anything, if you notice here, they're actually saying that's what 17 wants to be. Because in the real world, it's not always like that, right? People on top don't always retain their roots or just what's really important in the art they're sharing with the world. It happens, but not all the time. And you really see that in the way a lot of music is commercialized and sent without really any core message these days. It's all about hitting a certain level of fame. But 17 here announced their aspiration to be the maestro, who also is the real maestro at heart. So, just amazing. It's like, just absolutely amazing. And you have really interesting things. So this is lyrical payoff, but what about the visual payoff? So if you notice, there's another very interesting thing we see with the robots that are there in this MV. So you've seen 3 different settings so far. The first setting, first ever glimpse we had was them kind of holding Hoshi hostage, right? So we see this kind of apprehensive, antagonistic relationship with, let's say, AI automation this time around, right? But this can actually be, the scope of this song can be applied to any oncoming technology that is perceived as encroaching on artistic space. So, yeah, we're having this antagonistic relationship with them. But then again, we also have Scoops doing this gesture and all the robots around him repeating it. And, there was one very interesting thing I forgot to mention. Joshua and the robot doing, touching their fingers in a, imitation of Michelangelo's painting, right? The one with the creation of Adam, I think. I forgot the name, but you know what I'm talking about. Michelangelo's painting. And the whole significance of that painting and merged with this MV is the mere fact that the automation, all these technologies that come in, they have place, they have meaning only because of human intention. And that's just such a profound expression, honestly. And it helps you not vilify technology as well, because end of the day, we will always scientifically progress, right? And it does end up bringing a lot of good in life too. That's just how we move forward as a society. And it helps us eliminate problems as well, make things more accessible, reachable. So there's good to technology as well. It doesn't do to just vilify it. And to therefore say that technology can be something that helps expand reach. So when a Scoops does a gesture, ahead of him and behind him, technology imitates it, increases the spread, the breadth, the scope. That's shown in one way. Then we have Joshua depicting the heart behind the technology. And then we have the third way we see the robots, which is just cool. So you have, I think it was Dino, right? And the robots are kind of like their mini dog robots or something on a leash. That's just showing, building off of Josh's, clip, and saying that technology is just a tool, right? So human is the heart and technology is the tool. That's just the final conclusion. So when we say in our heads, or we allow ourselves to think that AI automation or any of this might become the real maestro controlling the strings, that isn't going to be it. It's going to be an extension of us. And how will we make sure of that? We will continue standing for the heart, for the relationship between a listener and a musician. We will continue to spread the message right in our way, in our place. And Seventeen will try their best to be that ideal maestro in their music. Just wow. Like, I know I said a lot, but if you heard that to the end, then you'll understand why I was so absolutely amazed when I was hearing this. It was just epic! And the music is so good. Don't lose the good vibe. One more really fun tidbit here, because this topic itself is quite, it becomes very personal and serious for a lot of people, including, I'm a musician myself, and I'm not only a musician, singer-songwriter, I also write novels, so I'm an author, and it does make me from time to time wonder what the future and place of writers in general are with the advent of AI and everything. But end of the day, my realization and conclusion come very similar to what this song is presenting. That it's the heart that matters, and AI and all these tools which will become more and more prevalent are, end of the day, just that, a tool. And the human intention, the human heart is what conquers, and it will conquer, because we will keep trying to spread that positive message and keep it the most important thing and our center in our lives. So that was epic. But there's one small part that Tito goes, don't lose the good vibe, right? Because that's really what art is about. It's about spreading joy, bringing happiness. So yes, we have all these broad proclamations and we have all these worries that come along sometimes. But that's what art is still going to be about. It's going to be about spreading joy, about bringing the good vibe. Don't lose it. We'll keep going. We'll keep being the maestros in our life. Any more words? It was epic. Wait, it's not playing properly. That was such a good visual. Oh. Yep. Incursion into the tower. Sky's the limit. This must have been so hard to film. Yes, completely. Okay. It's completely centering on that relationship between the listener and musician now, because it's established all of that. That part of the song is already done, that arc of the story. Now we're expanding on that relationship. So we have that, you and I, every note will take and will become one eventually. We'll have the same thought process, because really that's what it's about, right? When we share our song, which is personal to us, we're sharing our perspective. And especially when we say something like bringing a positive song out there, right? We want that a person who's going through a hard time can come to identify with that song and in a way become one with that song and feel the positivity, the happiness we meant to share with them. So it's depicting that so thoroughly with Jun's lines, and you also had Hoshi really expanding on that. Before that, we had Wonville, which is doing a very interesting thing, calling back to what we did at the way beginning of the MV, right? Where I was talking about 17 having this incursion to the tower, overtaking it level by level, kind of getting rid of this stagnancy and rigidity that's overtaken that whole space, not just because of automation, but because of, more importantly, the lack of human soul. Right? That intention wasn't really being centered around And the thing I feel like this tower also represents is fear. This song feels like it's a callbacking to a lot of their older works. Also, I have like it's their 10th year, I think, when they released this. I can feel a little bit of Super in the way um, the pacing's done and the vocals are distributed. So I feel like this will have sampled a lot of their older works for sure. We should check that out. But the thing is, I haven't really checked out their older works in depth, so I can't correlate it. But don't worry, I will check them out. But yeah, so you have one who depicting that and also singing lyrics that match, I'll up the beat, mix some techno in it, do whatever it takes, but I'm going to reclaim the soul and spirit, keep that original creativity alive. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Sequence, yeah. What was that combo? Sungkwan sang so well, and we have this very interesting thing where we don't have the duplicate of a DK's line. Like, I mean, it's the same line and sung with a lot of it was the same line, right? At least that's not her part, was I missed that. Yeah, it's the same line. So we have the same line, and Sungkwan sings with so much more passion and the stretch that allows us to drop into Maestro. Why? Because this time, rather than talking about all those, how do you say it? The building aspect of it, right? All the relationships and all the complexity that comes with it when we do with DK's part and we're setting up the song. This time we were talking purely about the personal relationship between the creator and singer. So now it's a lot more emotive and fitting that Sungkwan sings this with just the right punch. And then you have Xiang Han's bow, which is very similar to Our Music Lives to Serve. It's so well done. And then we have following the maestro's lead. The visuals of this ending, just gorgeous. Moving too fast. Oh my god. Whoa. That was so abrupt. The visuals so far were absolutely stunning, amazing. I mean, the MV is just doing such a good job at keeping me captive. And, well, I heard some breathing before I paused this, so that's making me suspect that it isn't over. It'll be very interesting to see what they're going to do to extend it, because can't be just another chorus, right? There has to be some, maybe there's a dance break or something. And we haven't really had a bridge either. So wait, if they're extending it this long, we're probably gonna have a bridge, aren't we? I love bridges. Like, bridges are some of the best parts of the song. If done well, actually. Yeah, they have to be done well for them. But yeah, so let's see. The acting is so good by all of them too. Just, they don't need any cast. They're 13 members. Whoa. Huh? Who was that? D8? Think. So we have this whole overwhelming feeling of being, followed by something sinister, but then we turn around and it's just at a distance D8 with the light shining. I think now whatever D8 says has to be really important and core contention to either what the automation, I think it's unlikely going to be the automation here. We're still talking about 17's heart, right? So lyrical wise, we should have it expressing what 17 is trying to do. Okay. Basically just setting that entire complex setup. right? Of the first half of the song, hearing two lines, the rhythm goes such, the bass goes thus. Look at us in harmony with all of it, and yet pushing harder and harder, rising to a crescendo. So it's not that we want to break what's been done. We want to live in harmony, but we also want to offer something more, right? There is no malicious intention in the place of becoming a maestro that's moving us. There's nothing about wanting to hurt or harm. It's this intention to just rise with our heart intact to the top. Very, very it's like very provocative imagery through musical instruments and kind of how in sync and in harmony we are with them. The entire world becomes a stage, right? All the world's a stage, all men and women are players. Oh well. And also, the eighth sang that so well, so satisfying. It was just like perfect. A tempo for a final movement. Dance break, dance break, dance break. Oh my, footwork for this. Huh? What are they doing? Oh gosh. Never listen to that. Look, chill. Oh my goodness. Chills. Wow. It was static before, now we see things changing. It's reclaimed, the colors are slightly different. 17 is back in control of the tower, and more importantly, they know the tower is not the music, they are. Wow. Just wow. I have literally nothing to say. Oh wait. Yep, that's the question. That's the question, and this MV is the answer. This is just epic. And the best part is they don't really say it in the MV. So the heart of any good storytelling is it makes you ask the questions. Maybe gives you this guide or thought process with all this additional information and what really matters, what's valued. But it doesn't outright spell out the answer for you. Because the end result is to make someone want to think, not feed them another line, which could be a lie, could be the truth, right? That serves the purpose of the person giving you the line. So this is very, very clever, very smart to end the MV on. Wow. I have to say, this was a 4-minute 11 seconds MV. I think I paused it so many times because honestly, there was just so much to analyze here and it was awesome. But I mean, I feel like playing the whole thing from start and just enjoying the music now. I did it the first time around too, believe it or not. But like it was musically, just plain musically so riveting and capturing my attention from the way it was sung, the beats, the constant switch up. It almost felt like 2-3 different aspects of how 17 discography is split out, combined into one solid punch that is not only a good song, but a solid meaning and base behind it is there. So yeah, I'm going to just play this again and just completely vibe this time because this was just epic, and then we're going to check out the dance practice. This is awesome. No pausing this time. Just break it off. The transition is super satisfying. Michael Jackson.
가치가 특기니까 미쳐야만 정상이 돼 세상을 바꾸는 우리니까
Because we take the word crazy than you normal. Oh, so good.
서로를 바라본 채로 나팔을 울렸을 때로
They're so unafraid to be themselves.
You and I accelerate on
And that's really how we should all be.
올라가자 높은 곳에서 울리는 소나타 마에스트로의 지위에 맞춰 라라 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 라 라라 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 라 라라 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 라 마에스트로의 지위에 맞춰 Good vibe 잊지 않고 가 절대 Good life 우리는 세계로 Good vibe 잊지 않고 가 절대 마에스트로의 지위에 맞춰 Rhythm on 바꿔
It's like watching a movie.
techno와 drop it 뭐든지 가능해 주문해 만들어 드릴게요 작품에와 손을 함께 할 때 그래서 하나 되는 우리 뻔해
I'm sorry, I'm pausing. If there's anything I might have a little bit desired more from this song or MV or however, is that Jun got like at least one or two more lines because I loved how he did this. It was just the perfect kind of bridging line that was there. I see us finally becoming one. And the way he sang it wasn't very emotional, if that makes sense. It's not like this full of yearning or anything. It's stated almost as a fact. And he's done it really well. It's got that just the perfect neutral timbre almost to it. And he was just very expressive when he did it. So yeah, if there could have been one more line there, it would just really given that shimmer extra to the song. But then I can also see why they might have not done it. It's just, yeah, it's a personal wish, you know? Jin did really well. I wish he had like one or two more lines. And I'm not usually into action scenes, but one comment was this was very well done. Hoshi just aced at the dance he did to trigger that his voice is so good in this. Speaking of voice, I don't know if you can hear, but in that lala part, there's also robotic thing that's also going in the headphones here. Very interesting. Yeah, so that robotic bit is adding to this effect of fighting to retain the heart and overpower it with the force of the lala, and the choreography is really kind of adding that. Really, really clever. So satisfying. All the members, okay. I love this too. This is crazy. I feel like I can't appreciate how good the footwork is and the about footwork. But it's incredible. Yes, Joshua. Really matching a good vibe. Again, the same part I really appreciated about Jun singing those lines, the same way Wonu sang it really well. This time when we sang following Maestro's lead, Wonu was the perfect choice for this. There was a lot of, almost calm yet declarative emotion in the way he sang it. It was like, fact, it's going to happen. This is my final last stand, my proclamation. And the way he does it is just epic, epic, epic. I've said these words too many times, but it's just my heart, Okay, so I just checked and we're already at like 40 minutes long content. So yeah, I think we'll have to do the dance practice another day. I'm sorry about that, guys. But honestly, I did not expect for Maestro to be so jam-packed with so many things to uncover. I really thought initially my plan was going to be to do the color coded, like I did with Don't Wanna Cry. There was color coded, then there was the MV, and then there was going to be what do you call it? The dance practice. Why did I forget that? The dance practice. But because I noticed that this had the subtitles, Don't Wanna Cry MV didn't have that, so I thought, okay, maybe I should just do the MV and color coded together. And I honestly can't say I regret that decision because it was really, really fascinating to not only see the lyric and my interpretation of it coming out naturally, but also see the immediate visual aspect they wanted to depict and kind of the secondary story or the first story, depending on what kind of absorber you are. The two parallel stories that are kind of complementing each other, connecting and going at the same time. It was a very cool experience. And I kind of almost hope that they have a lot of MVs which do have the subs, especially the later ones I'm sure will have, but like somewhere, at least in the middle when they were like becoming a little more known to people, that time they must have started adding the English subs. So it was just a very pleasant experience and I couldn't hold myself back, this channel was created as a space to really analyze and break down the soul of music and how it connects people across the globe, why it touches the hearts of so many, and really what the ultimate purpose behind music is, right? Because we want that by the end of it, when we have created a song, it reaches the other person in a meaningful way. And 17 does that so well, and that's why I really have a lot of appreciation for them. So yeah, Maestro was an incredible song, incredible MV, and just amazing lyrics. Yeah, just wow. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Funny story. Every single time I record these videos, I think, okay, this time around I'm going to be saying, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more such content. But then I become so awkward about saying it because I'm in the flow, I'm just talking about music all the time. And then I'm like, let me just wind up and close off there. And I'm really, really touched by all of the support you guys have shown me so far. I did not expect to reach so many of you so quickly, and the comments you guys leave me, I think just my first 15 comments have reached me, and wow, they were really touching, really encouraging, not only filled with recommendations, but really what they valued about my insights, and more importantly, what they felt touched them about 17's music and about music in general, what they looked for. That is such a valuable experience to have and a wonderful community to be in. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos, and thank you for leaving the comments so that I can know what you thought about this. Really appreciate it, really appreciate your support, and see you next time on Hello Haven.